Archer, welcome back to the show. Now, Cleon Porter is the executive director of the Jamaica Charity for the Homeless and Disabled, an organization advocating for the rights, accessibility, and protection of vulnerable, disabled, and homeless persons in Jamaica. Porter frequently lobbies the government regarding the Disabilities Act compliance, disaster preparedness, and prison care. Now, in 2025, Porter demanded that constituency offices comply with the Disabilities Act by installing wheelchair ramps and lifts to prevent disenfranchisement. Joining us now is Mr. Cleon Porter, Managing Director of the Jamaica Charity for the Homeless and Disabled. Hello, Mr. Porter. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Glad to have you. Thank you for coming in.
Yes, man. It's my pleasure. Once it's for to advocate for the person with disability or to share information with the wider society. It's all my pleasure. I will drop anything in the world just to share that information.
Love that. Glad to have you. Now, following the impact of Hurricane Melissa, what challenges did the homeless and disabled individuals face while, of course, seeking shelter and assistance?
Well, it was very challenging before, with the homeless, even though there is some improvement as relates to in St. Catherine. The Poor Relief Department has done well. The Poor Relief Department in St. Catherine has done well in Spanish Town and in some other areas. But it is a challenge long time with the homeless and persons with disabilities. So Melissa now come, it just make things very worse, especially in the western part of the country, because even in the hospital they are overfilled with persons, elderly persons with disability who don't have nowhere to go. The hospital have to be keeping them, and we're going to start a campaign very shortly to push the government to find places, because Jamaica have so many lands, to find these government land, and build on it. Because I heard where the government is allotting a portions of money towards the church. I'm saying that just as how the government can allot, which is good to assist the church, a lot of some of the money to put towards building more infirmary, so that's persons who are still in the hospital that get discharged but they don't have nowhere to go can free up the space for other persons. So it is a challenge.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, we have a lot of empty buildings too that are just sitting at places that haven't been touched for years.
Exactly.
Where we can really put those buildings to use as well.
To use. And man, people are suffering, man, and it's on the social media, it's everywhere. One of my member went to the KPH hospital, and when I look, so many persons there who are still in the hospital, they are elderly and they are disabled persons and not able to come up because they have nowhere to go. So they're taking up space. So it's a simple thing. Government can put up some GoFundMe, and I'm telling you, if they put up GoFundMe for that cause, to build and construct building on free lands, which is government land, in no time, within a month, they will get all that money. But we just have to have the will to look out for these people. And once you have that will, it will be done. I'm not asking, because Melissa showed us that we have that spirit within us. And there's a lot of nations and across the world who wants to help and will help. So from you put it up, they're going to come together. Because Melissa showed that we are resilient, and we are peers, we are people, we are a nation who come together and help each other. So even if you forgot to mention that I'm a justice of the peace for St. Catherine.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and within the justice of the peace, there are different committees within the committees, and you have the welfare committee, which is I'm a part of, and within that committee you have the subcommittee that persons living with disability, that I am the team lead for that subcommittee. And within the welfare, right now, from last year, we come together, different groups come together, and an agency, and we come together and we lead different teams to Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth,
Yeah, the western part of the
Trinidad,
island.
the western part of the island, and bring good relief package for those that are in need. So we are saying that once we continue to come together and we have that, things can happen and person's life can improve and changes can be met.
Now, you've called for better coordination between authorities. Can you tell us, like, what specific gaps did you observe in the current emergency response system, especially during Melissa? What were some of the gaps that you saw?
There is improvement, but we still have a far way to go because myself, I went on the road during the before the hurricane hit Jamaica, when it's on its way, and I went and visit most of the shelters in St. Catherine, and the communication gap was poor. In one instance in South Barrow, when I went there was a person with a gentleman who have a disability standing outside of the school, wasn't able to get in outside the school. When I went there and I've been shouting at South Barrow, nobody coming at the front. So therefore, persons coming to escape, and there is a call that and I identify different schools and different places as shelter, and when persons reach there's no one to accept them. When I continue to do my research, I heard that they're not using that school for shelter. How the person is going to know? How person is going to know? They need to state these things, have someone there that when persons come, they can direct them and say, this is no longer be a shelter. You need to go to that. So I see that from myself. It's not anyone tell me. Because that's my duty. I make sure go and see and have my boot on the ground. And there's a next school. I think it was Brayton All Age. When I went there, I said this place is identified as shelter. And the security is unaware of many different things, and I'm saying, what is going on? So the shelter managers, I can't even blame them, because there should be a supervisor over them who push them, and the shelter managers, they some of them must be commended, because with the lack of resources that what I go and see that they have, because you cannot be preparing for a hurricane. Shelter before the hurricane land, long before, they're supposed to have the different tools and resources and the different beds and food and water
Prepare.
And the building, as I said, I think last year or year before, after burial, that was one of the big issue, and other news media interviewed me about it, and it still persists. These places that they call in shelter is not shelter. So I'm saying to my Jamaican people, don't be fooled. What they call shelter is not really shelter. It's just a holding area. Because why? Shelter, you're supposed to have your nurses there.
Certain essential there,
And one of the most important thing, bathroom. You're not supposed to go outside of the shelter to access bathroom.
Or sharing bathroom, males and females and kids sharing the same restroom. That's a problem too.
Yes, and the safety as relates to male and female is supposed to have separate place. So even though they have it in their books, it just remains in the books. It needs to be active and removed from just being a book to being practical.
Now, looking ahead, what policies or measures would you like the government now to implement to ensure that the vulnerable population, are better protected? And I don't want to limit to just the natural disasters, but just overall.
Overall. Well, one of the things that I want to commend the government for, they're creating or updating an act for the elderly. I want to commend them for that act, because that one really and truly, the elderly in our society has been disadvantaged. Persons use their weakness, because most of them have dementia, different types of mental illness that affect their memory, and persons abuse them. So I want to commend the government for that act. That will help greatly. There was a proposal that the opposition leader Mark Golding, I heard him making the election, that he would strengthen the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disability with, I think it was $1 billion. He would invest in. I would say the government should adapt that approach, because really and truly the Jamaica Council of Persons with Disability, they need resources to be able to do their work. I am not happy with the work so far with Jamaica Council of Persons with Disability, because even that it is the government umbrella, even though it's a statutory body, but the Ministry of Labour directly is in operation with them and assist them. But can you believe in Melissa, they set up a line, the different line for persons to communicate with, and when you call those numbers, you're not able to get them. And when you send, I myself try it, I'm not hearing. I do things myself to try that I can speak, and no one can question it. And from after Melissa, I get some numbers from some persons with disability who need help, and you contact the line and the WhatsApp line that was given for the Jamaica Council of Persons with Disability, and it takes days to get a response and say they will get back to me, and up till to the day they don't get back to me. So we are in trouble as a nation, and we are in serious trouble, and it's a hard fight, and my organization, we are committed to that fight.
Yes.
And we have a lot of things coming up, so that's why we are happy for media houses like Sun City here, who open the door for us to speak and to get the message out. And we want to congratulate you, because getting the message out is very important, and we appreciate it, because just one simple word can change a lot of different things, and we never know which years it is going on. So I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And of course, we appreciate you as well for doing all that you're doing and will continue to do. And of course, we're here to support you as well.